Johns Hopkins welcomed Franklin and Marshall to Baltimore, and the Blue Jays got off to a fast start. Brandon Cherry takes the handoff, bursts up the middle, and runs 76 yards for a touchdown to give the Jays a 7-0 lead. Diplomats came right back. Frank Strumolo takes the pitch and scores from 1 yard out to make it a 7-6 game. J.D. Abbott gives the Jays a 14-6 advantage on this short run, but the Diplomats would take the lead on 2 touchdown passes from quarterback E.J. Schneider to Jordan Zachary, the first covering 25 yards and the second covering 14 yards, and the Diplomats led 20-14. After a Nick Campbell field goal closed the deficit to 3, Hopkins took the lead for good on this John Arena 54-yard pick six to give the Blue Jays a 24-20 halftime lead. Cherry scored his second touchdown of the day on this 2-yard run to put Hopkins up 31-20. The Diplomats would come right back. Strumolo, his second touchdown run of the day, this one covering 35 yards, made it a 4-point game. But the Blue Jays put the game away. Cherry capped off a 176-yard day with this touchdown run. J.D. Abbott's short touchdown run gave the Blue Jays the outright Centennial title, 45-30. Muhlenberg struck quickly in this game at Ursinus. Quarterback Nick Palladino scores on this 2-yard run, and then teams with Mike Harris on an 18-yard touchdown pass for an early 14-0 lead. Eric Boyer's 32-yard field goal closed the deficit to 14-3, but Palladino teamed with Cody Dyer with just 9 seconds left in the half on this 53-yard bomb to give the Mules a 20-3 lead at the break. Palladino and Dyer would team on 2 more touchdown passes in the fourth quarter, this one covering 16 yards. And on the next possession, a 63-yard bomb, Palladino threw for 339 yards on the day and 4 touchdowns. Jason Golder catches a 10-yard pass from Kevin Monahan for the Bears' lone touchdown, but Thomas DeCarlo's run sewed things up. Muhlenberg is on to win 41-10. Juniata traveled to Moravian looking for his first 6-win season since 1999. Ward Judinsky opened the scoring on this 3-yard touchdown run, and Ken Kaiser's 26-yard field goal gave the Eagles a 10-0 lead. Just 35 seconds to go in the first half, Deontay Alston throws the halfback option pass to Maurice Slinger, and the Eagles led 17-0 at the break. Then Udinsky teamed with Aaron O'Brien on a 26-yard scoring pass, and Juniata had a 24-0 lead. Moravian got on the scoreboard as Anthony Orlando picks up this loose football and runs 44 yards to pay dirt to make it 24-7. But it wasn't enough as the Eagles went on to defeat the Greyhounds 27-14. Gettysburg got off to a fast start in this game against Dickinson for the Little Brown Bucket. Kyle Wigley scores on this 1-yard run. And then holder Tommy Lenore picks up the bobbled snap, runs around left end 4 yards for the touchdown, and the Bullets were in front 13-0. And Eddie Hutchins takes this pitch, goes around left end 29 yards for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion gave Gettysburg a 21-0 lead. Then Zach Miller finds Chris Amicone, who bowls his way into the end zone to give the Bullets a 28-0 lead at the break. Sean Wilson gets Dickinson on board early in the third quarter on this 5-yard run. A touchdown runs by Eddie Hutchins from 1 yard out, and Hutchins again. Gettysburg keeps the Little Brown Bucket with a 42-7 win. McDaniel visited Susquehanna. This short touchdown run by Tim Wade gave the Crusaders an early 13-0 lead. Seth McFall gets the terror on the board on this 22-yard pass to Nick O'Melia, but Wade scores his second touchdown of the day to give the Crusaders a 20-7 lead. What would a highlight film be without Joe Rollins here, finding running room 77 yards up the middle to make it a 20-14 game. And then with 11 seconds to go in the first half, Matt Miller scores on a 1-yard plunge, and McDaniel takes a 21-20 lead to the locker room. Susquehanna comes right back. Merle Moscarello scores on a 14-yard run, but Rollins answers to put the Terror back in front by 1. Then McFall and O'Melia team on their second touchdown pass of the day. But Wade answers on a 19-yard touchdown run, his third score of the day, and it's tied up at 35. With just under 4 minutes to go, Mark Rosenbaum finds Pat Murtha in the end zone for a 12-yard touchdown pass to give the Crusaders a 42-35 lead. But this McFall to O'Melia 3-yard touchdown pass, followed by a 2-point conversion pass with 17 seconds to go, McDaniel wins 43-42. Welcome back to Inside the Huddle and our Coach's Corner today with Susquehanna head coach Steve Briggs. Coach, it hasn't been the most successful season for the Crusaders, but You've had a number of individual standouts this year, and why don't we talk about running back Tim Wade, who's had an excellent season?
Well, Tim, yes, he has. Unfortunately, we lost him for 3 games, and I think he just hit the 700 mark rushing. And it kind of shows that he's what we thought going into it, Steve. I really think he's one of the best in the conference. But unfortunately, he had a separated shoulder. We lost him for 3 weeks. And then, of course, those next 2 games after that, it's always one of those, oh, boy, if he gets hit, is he done? That type of thing. He's really healthy now. Had a big game Saturday, had a big game down at F&M. He's really a tough kid, and it makes us better.
Well, the injury bug has really hit you hard this year, and you look at your quarterback situation, and Mark Rosenbaum, who started the year, and it's certainly put up some nice numbers the last couple of weeks upon return.
Yeah, Mark's a competitor. Mark had won the job a year ago, and second game against Hopkins a year ago, broke his throwing thumb in 8 spots, had pins in it, so we lost him for the season. Wins the job in the off season, preseason, the whole deal. First 3 times we had the ball up at Merchant Marine with him at the helm, we scored, went up 21-0. Then he got hurt in the second quarter with a high ankle sprain, and we lost him basically until we played Moravian. And he's been healthy ever since, and consequently, he and Tim Wade, who we didn't have at the front part of this conference or the season, they make us better. And it's like at this level, you get 1 or 2 guys that get banged, that affects a lot of things. And yes, that kind of is the theme of what we've been going through for 2 years. I don't want to say, oh, woe is me. That's football. That's part of football and how you have to adapt. So, and this is a tough conference. You've got to have your top guns, or it's going to be a tough go.
One of your top guns on the defensive side of the ball has been linebacker Adrian Bernard. Can you talk about his play?
Adrian, he's our best. He and another injured guy, Jared Minori, have been the mainstay. Jared, of course, he's injured also, being a captain as a junior. But Adrian, I think, is one of the best linebackers in our conference. He's high motor, high energy. He's around the football. He's enthusiastic. He's one of those kids that really loves to play football, and we all want those guys. He's done that since he's been on campus. He just so happens to be 6'1", 225, 230, and is one of our fastest kids. So we didn't have him for the F&M game because of a shoulder injury. So we haven't been without certainly our defensive side with some injuries also. But Adrian's one of our best, and it's interesting, the 3 guys you just mentioned are probably our best 3 football players.
This is the final week of the regular season. We try to schedule rivalry games on the final week. You have F&M and Gettysburg, Hopkins and McDaniel, Muhlenberg, Moravian, and of course the goalpost trophy game between Susquehanna and Juniata. What kind of extra energy does that bring to the final game of the regular season?
Well, we hope a lot, Steve, quite frankly. I said at the end of our very, very heartbreaking loss the other day that we finally have a game that on in this year's schedule that means something. And it means something because it is a big game. We're 2 of the old MAC teams, Moravian being the 3rd, that were together when we weren't in this conference. And listen, I got a lot of respect for Tim Lawrence and what he's done. Tom Gibney, I consider a good friend. His son Ben Gibney played for me for 4 years. I mean, there's a lot of associations there. Now, don't get me wrong. I like him. I respect him. But we want to beat him this week, believe me. And the goalpost trophy is an added incentive. I've been here. I think I've been part of 25, going on 26 of those games, 25 because we didn't play 1 year. And I'm happy to say we've won 20 of them, and they've won 5. So it's kind of been one-sided for a while, and that's why I say I give a lot of respect to what they've done, and they're a darn good football team, and they're one of the best football teams in this conference. And if you poll everybody, I think they're going to tell you that. So we've got our hands full with the young group that we have. But we're going out to Huntington, and it's always a great game, and it's always a high-spirited, just terrific small college football game. And I think it's a tribute to our conference. You just mentioned the other ones, too. It's really neat because everybody's close proximity-wise, and it's going to be fun.
Coach Steve Briggs, thanks for joining us in the huddle. Best of luck Saturday against Juniata.
Thanks a lot, Steve.